Have you ever wondered the difference between private label and retail or online arbitrage, and which one is better for you as a new seller on Amazon? Well, if yes, then this is the video you need to be watching, because in this video, not only am I going to break down the difference between those two, that's private label and retail arbitrage, I'm also going to help you understand the pros and cons of each one. And then finally, I'm going to help you make a decision so that you can move forward with confidence, knowing that you are choosing the right option for you based on your personal circumstances. So without much ado, let's roll the intro and let's get started. The first thing is for you to understand the difference between private label and retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. And private label simply means that you are finding a product that is profitable and you are building a brand around it. So your product doesn't have to be complex. It could be something very simple, but you are going to be branding it for yourself, meaning that you're going to find a manufacturer that already produces your products, and then you're going to create a brand that is going to be exclusive to you. And so that product then becomes your assets, meaning that no one else can really sell the product without your permission or your say-so. That's private label. And so when it comes to retail or online arbitrage, the main difference here is you're not creating any product or brand. You're literally finding products that are already in existence, that are already out there for sale, and you're taking those products and literally reselling them on Amazon and every other platform that you can find out there. So those are the major differences. Now that you know the difference between private label and retail or online arbitrage, let's talk about the pros and cons of each option that you choose. I'll start with private label because that's the common one that you hear everyone talking about. So this is what you need to know about private label. The first thing is that because you're going to be creating a brand around private label, you're going to go through the process of identifying a product that you think is going to be profitable on Amazon. And then you're going to need to find a manufacturer who is going to be willing to create this product, make any changes that the product might require. Maybe you found a product that requires a little bit of updating, or it needs a few changes to make it better in the market. So you need a supplier that's going to be able to make those changes for you and also be willing to put your brand on the product. Let's take, for example, a dog harness. If you found a dog harness that people seem to love, but there are a few flaws with the dog harness, then you can reach out to potential manufacturers and ask them if they would be willing to make the changes that you require to make your harness an even better one, an optimized product, so to say. So your manufacturer will create your dog harness, but also create a brand that you can put on the packaging, you can put on the product itself, and so you now become the owner of that product. The only thing is, because most manufacturers in our world today are in Asia, so you will have to find a manufacturer who's going to be cost effective, probably in China, Indonesia, India, somewhere, usually overseas. And so you're going to have to import your products once they're ready into whatever country that you are in. So number one pro tip is that you're going to have to create a brand, and you're also going to have to import your products. And that could come with costs like custom duties and just paying an expensive freight duty, because you're going to be bringing it into a country that's probably a far off distance from where your manufacturer is. The second thing you need to bear in mind when it comes to private label is, because you're going to be working with a manufacturer who may be making changes to your products and who may be putting a brand on your products, you're not going to be able to work with tiny numbers. So usually an ideal and optimal number that most manufacturers will be willing to talk to you about will be about 500 units. That will be the minimum order quantity. Usually when you go on websites like Alibaba, you will see them talk about MOQs. So the MOQ means minimum order quantity, and simply you're buying 500 units or more of your potential products and then sending it off to the Amazon warehouse. The third thing that you need to understand about private label is that because you're buying an MOQ of around 500 units, you're going to need some cash to be able to start this business. And usually you would hear most mentors, most gurus advise you to have about 5,000 US dollars to get started. This is enough money to cover your initial inventory, your shipping costs, your custom duties, and just to get your products landed in the US or in Canada or in the UK, wherever you are based. Because this product belongs to you, it is ideal for you to build a website. Yes, a website. Because before you're able to sell your products on Amazon, usually while you're going through the clarification process, the application process, you will be required to send them the link to your website so that they can see that the product actually belongs to your brand, and then you can go ahead to list it. So yes, you would need a website. Of course, that also means that you're going to either pay someone to build your website, or if you have the skills, you're going to have to build the website yourself. The next thing that happens from there is you're going to need really quality photographs for your products. And so that requires you to hire someone to create the photographs or to take the photos of your product, because unless you have the skills to do it, you need someone that's going to do a really good job, because the pictures of your product are essentially going to be selling your product. Because if you think about it, the customer doesn't even get to see your product in person before they make the buying decision. So you're going to need to make good decisions when it comes to photography, videography about your product, and get the right people to actually do it in a good way. The next thing that you need to think about is this brand that you've created is totally unknown. So that means that you're going to need to advertise your brand, and you're going to need to market your brand so that people can find you, find your products, and hopefully purchase from you. If you don't advertise your product, no one is going to find out about it, and essentially it means you're not going to be really making sales as much as you want. And so advertising is a definite cost when you're launching a brand new brand. Now that you understand what private label is, let's talk about retail arbitrage or online arbitrage. So first of all, I want you to understand retail or online arbitrage are just different words for the same thing. It simply means that you're buying already popular products and you are reselling on Amazon. Let's talk about what retail or online arbitrage actually look like for you as a new Amazon seller. The first thing you need to understand is you're not going to be importing products from anywhere. Because with retail and online arbitrage, we're going to be finding popular products that are already selling in your popular stores. So think about your Walmart, your Target, your Superstore. You already have products that are on the shelves in those stores. And so when you are selling on Amazon as a retail arbitrager or online arbitrager, you are essentially selling the same products that you find in the store, and maybe you even have some of them in your house because they are the products that you know, you love, and you trust. The second thing that you need to know about retail and online arbitrage as a new seller is that you won't have any minimum order quantity. And that's simply because you're buying products that you would already find at your local retailers, small distributors, small suppliers. And that gives you the opportunity to figure out the business on your own, or at least grow at your own pace without feeling the pressure of having 500 units of one product to sell. The next thing is, because you're not importing products from anywhere, you're not going to have the cost associated with importation. You're not paying any custom duties because you are going to be buying products that are right there in your city, or at least in the country where you reside. The next thing you need to also be aware of is that you can start with a tiny capital. Okay, so I've had clients and students who have started selling on Amazon by investing around $500 into the business at first. It doesn't mean that you're going to grow a 10K per month business with only $500, but whereas with private label you're starting the business with at least $5,000 in capital, with arbitrage you're going to be starting with around $500 to $1,000 to allow you really start to experience the business, start to sell in your business before having to put in more capital to buy inventory. The next thing that you need to know about online arbitrage and retail arbitrage is you will not need to run ads. So no form of advertising is required. And while we have some arbitragers who run ads on their Amazon store, it's not something that is required. You can actually start selling your products within about 7 to 10 days without running any advertising and start seeing sales coming in. The simple reason being you're selling products that people are literally searching for in Amazon, and they are going to purchase it organically without you having to do anything to help the sale. And finally, when it comes to retail arbitrage or online arbitrage, you do not need to build a website. So you're going to be selling products that you've already found that are popular on the market without importing, without running ads, without building a website, simply because your products already sell and people are already looking for them. Now that we understand the features of both the private label and the arbitrage method, let's talk about the right decision for you. The private label is not the most beginner-friendly model out there. It's the model that you go into when you are comfortable and you are sure that you have $5,000 in the bank, you are not risk adverse, you are able to start the business and do all the things that need to be done, i.e. import, take pictures, build a website, run advertising from the beginning. However, if you are like me and you're not very inclined to taking risk, meaning that you do not enjoy risk with your money, then arbitrage is looking more like it. And of course, arbitrage looks more like it because you can start arbitrage with about $500 and learn your business as you go along and as you grow. At the end of the day, I want to say that both methods work. You're going to have people on both sides of the spectrum who think that the model that they operate in is the best. And actually, I started with arbitrage and I love it. And that's why I have linked down in the description a free training on how to get started selling on Amazon and even be able to build your business to around $10,000 every single month. So if you're interested, you want to be sure to check the free training down in the description area. I hope that this video has been of value to you and helped you to understand the difference between private label, arbitrage, and help you make up your mind about which one is suitable to you. If you have any questions or you want me to create a video on anything else, be sure to leave a comment below and let me know. Until then, I'll see you in the next video.